Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Gary the Snake.
And your last name?
The Snake.
Dream Team.
New habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG. And right now you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
You know you need fiber for a healthy gut, but do you actually know how to get it? Quaker's been serving up fiber since 1877, with over 100 great-tasting, good source of fiber options to choose from. Whether you like old-fashioned oats, instant oatmeal, granola, or oatmeal squares, Quaker makes it delicious. So good. Get your fiber with Quaker. Shop Quaker's good source of fiber products at a store near you.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
I think that when I have the best health, it's when I actually get to just do my entire day and not even think about how I'm feeling. That's when I think that you have great health, because your body can keep up with the day that you're doing, your emotions, your energy, everything can keep up with what you want to do. And so that's when I'm working towards, like, why I have routines and why I work out and why I eat the way that I eat. It's always so that I don't have to think about how I'm feeling.
I'm Jessica Vallant. I'm a physical therapist, women's health expert, and Pilates teacher, and my goal is to help all women feel strong, safe, and secure in their bodies. In this podcast, I'll share expert advice, facts, amazing guests, stories, compassion, and hope to help you meet your body in all seasons of life. Well, we finished recording this conversation probably about 30 minutes ago, and Lesley and I have sat talking behind the scenes since then. Truly, Lesley is someone that I could talk to all day about life, about community, about work, about Pilates, and I am so happy to bring this conversation to you today. Lesley Logan and I have been friends for years now. I want to say going on 10 years, and we have worked in the Pilates industry together, and we have talked about owning businesses and talked about life, and she knows our kids, and she's taught at the fitness festival, Momentum Fest, that we had for a long time, and truly is just one of the good people in the world. And I knew I wanted to bring her here today to talk to you about all the things, and specifically about how she focuses on and keeps her routines around health when she travels, because you will hear a big part of what Lesley and her husband Brad do within their business is travel for weeks at a time. And so I really thought that that would be a helpful conversation for many of you. And then we go off into deeper tangents around what it means to actually be healthy, what it means to find the routines that work for you, and how you need to do some self-awareness work around that. And then we go into the importance of community also. It is such a just personal, real conversation. So let me tell you a little bit about Lesley. Lesley Logan is the world's leading expert on how Pilates changes your life and is the Chief Pilates Officer at onlinepilatesclasses.com. She has taught thousands of students, trained hundreds of Pilates teachers, has led dozens of workshops at global conferences, and supported notable companies such as the Associated Press and Balanced Body, empowering participants with movement and happiness through Pilates and international retreats. With a comprehensive certificate from the National Pilates Certification Program and additional certifications in trauma-informed breathwork, mindset, and habits coaching, and with teaching experience since 2008, Lesley is widely regarded by the Pilates community and corporate executives alike. I am very honored and happy and joyful to bring you this conversation with my friend, Lesley Logan. Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming to Meet Your Body today. And I'm going to give you a little heads up and a little warning. You're kind of just getting like an invite into a conversation with one of my favorite people in the world. Like, literally, we could just be having coffee talking for hours. And so that is what the vibe is going to be today. Two people who love each other dearly and wish we were actually having coffee in real life instead of over the computer.
Oh my God, we need to make it a series.
We could make it a series. So you guys know from the intro, and I know many of you who are here and in the Pilates world already know who Leslie is. But Leslie, tell us anything about your story you want us to know. Where are you in the world? What's your story? What can we know about you?
Mm. Well, first of all, I'm just so excited to be here. You were texting me and I was like, yes, whatever you want, Jessica, it's always yes. Hi, I'm Lesley Logan. If you don't know me, I live in Las Vegas now, and for a while, actually, almost 6 years. But on a recent trip, people were like, "Oh, I need to come see you in LA," and I'm like, "Don't do that. I'm not there." And it was like not one person, like 20 people. So I realized people don't know that I live in Las Vegas and like proper Las Vegas. Like I can see the strip from my dog walks, and I just love it so much. Something I think people probably don't realize is like I come from a very small town, and I grew up like kind of like with the parental guidance of like get out of here. Get out of here. And so it's
Yeah.
always like this pressure to like achieve and get to the next thing so you can get to the next thing so you could get to where you're going. And I really fell into Pilates, like I mean kind of kicking and screaming. I also think that's really important because my love for it is so huge, but I also get when people are like, "What is this thing Pilates that people do?" And, um, and I've experienced all parts of life. I've experienced being without address. I've experienced moving a lot. I've experienced being in one place for a long time, and I am lucky to get to travel the world and do what I love. So I think that's a little bit of everything and maybe some things that people didn't know.
Yeah. And tell us so, and you guys really, when I was thinking about what Leslie and I could talk about today, I mean, there's so many things that we could cover. But when I think about Leslie and her husband Brad too, who's in the business with you, I think about like standing for and with other people. I mean, community wholeheartedly. You guys like represent community to me.
Mm.
And then also, I know health is a big part of your life. Obviously, you work in fitness, you work in Pilates, but you and I have talked personally. We're in a very similar stage in life and in perimenopause, and we've gone through health issues, both of us separately. And with that, with the amount of travel you do, I just thought that would be a perfect kind of landing spot for us because
Mm.
I know so many people out there struggle with routines, just that general idea of how do I keep a routine? And if I travel, what in the world do I do? And what does health look like if I'm not doing the exact same workout every day? So, why don't we start by like, tell us what your idea of health is when you even
Mm.
word or when you think of it in your own life, what does it actually mean?
Oh my God, don't I think that the easiest way to describe health is like when you wake up in the day or wake up in the morning or spend the day and you actually don't think about your health. Isn't that health? Like like
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
like when I've had, my health issues have been like digestive wise, which affects everything, affects sleep, affects all this stuff, and perimenopause is so fun. And I'm not even really like in it the way that other people are in it. I feel like I'm in the early stages, but I think that when I have the best health, it's when I actually get to just do my entire day and not even think about how I'm feeling. That's when I think that you have great health because your body can keep up with the day that you're doing, your emotions, your energy, everything can keep up with what you want to do. And so that's when I'm working towards like why I have routines and why I work out and why I eat the way that I eat. It's always so that I don't have to think about how I'm feeling.
Yes, that is such a great point. So it's not like front of brain anymore. Do you find, did that take a while to get to that point? Like, did it take a lot of intention on setting routines and really being like thoughtful about the process so you could get to the point that you have days you don't think about health? Or was it kind of automatic for you?
So that's an interesting question. I think I'm getting perimenopause has made me get to know myself a lot. As we're talking, like I'm so excited to say that I actually have an appointment with a doctor to actually give me the formal diagnosis of ADHD and potentially like ADHD, which is like what I've always been a child of a routine, and I think that that was a part of the masking to have someone with ADHD or potentially ADHD and like keep up with everything and to mask up all the things. And so I've always been a child of routine. There's a joke that my mother will love to tell you when she meets you, which is in the second grade, they sent a speech therapist to my school. I had a stutter and a lisp, and they sent a speech therapist to my school. And the speech therapist was like, "Oh, I'd love to work with you." And I said, "I'm much too busy. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have sewing. On Mondays and Wednesdays, I have baseball. On these days, I have church. On these days, I have this." Second grade, like I had a schedule, right? So I will say routine's always been a thing. I think where I'm at today is having figured out the routines that I need at the right time. So, for example, I don't have the same morning routine Monday through Friday. Some mornings, like Mondays and Wednesdays are the same, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are the same based on what I know that I need, based on the workouts I wanna do. So I kinda have like a block of time, and that just took years of getting to know myself. And then also because of my digestive issues, it just took many years to figure out what are the routines that don't stress me out, that are activating the digestive issues that I have. And I share that because I think it's easy I think it's attractive and easy in life to go, I just need to figure out what it is. What is Leslie doing? What is Jessica doing? What is so and so doing? And then I'll check that box and it's going to work for me too. And it's like, actually, it's kind of like the jeans I wore yesterday might not fit today. And so, what are the jeans that fit today? And really starting to know myself. And that takes time. And I hate to break it to everybody, but it took me many years. I'm really kind of grateful for the move I did to Las Vegas because it took away all the driving I had to do in Los Angeles, and it took away a lot of the gigs that I had I could just sit still for a bit. And so now I get to I get to benefit from that time of just sitting still and figuring out what I needed.
Yeah. That gene analogy is so good because you just can think of it as, let's say, workouts. Okay, you know you have to wear jeans, right? Like you need to wear pants. That's the way our society works. So you know each morning I have to put some pants on. Just like, okay, I need to move my body today. But the pants you choose will be different according to what your needs are and what your energy levels are. Am I feeling super sassy and I'm going out? Okay, then I'm going to lift a ton of weights. Am I feeling, yeah, digestive issue, bloating? Am I recovering from surgery? I am wearing my loosest sweatpants. That's what my movement is going to look like: supportive, loose, gentle. Um, that is so good. And so we could fit what our workouts into that. Like you can fit
Mhm.
your food into it. You know you need to eat, but what you need to eat each day will change according
Yeah.
to what your needs are.
Yeah, and I and that's hard, right? Especially for people who are like so busy and they're like, I just want to meal prep. I want to do this. And it's like, if meal prep works for you, go ahead and do it. Like I dream to be that person in my next life. It is not the life I live. And I really had to, with my own testing, and this means like not trying to test several things at once. I didn't test like foods that I could have on the same day that I was testing new workouts I could do. Like we're picking one thing at a time to like really think about how we feel and not just feel in that moment, but feel the next day and then as I sleep. And then also based on like I still have a cycle. So like it's very different. The first week of my cycle, I could do anything I want and kind of get away with eating whatever I want. The second 2 weeks of my cycle, if I am not like on it when it
Mhm.
comes to making sure my sleep and my hydration and my movements are on point, I suck the next day. So
Yeah.
it really does mean being a bit selfish and figuring out what you need, what your needs are, and then noticing that you have to adjust them because I'm not home all the time. And so what I have access to will change between each week as well.
So let's go into that. First, I want you to tell everyone what you just told me before we started, everywhere you're going over the next year, just so everyone understands the amount of travel Leslie really is due and chunks of time. Like, I think that's really important to hear too, that you're gone for chunks of time. It's not just a day here or there where you could get off schedule and then come back home and catch up. I mean, it's chunks of time. And then from there, tell us, I just would love to know kind of your history. Have you always been interested in travel? Because a lot of this is a life you created for
Yeah.
yourself. And so, how did that kind of come about?
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's really fun to say where I just came from and then where I'm going next. So I have only been home about 2 weeks, after being gone for 45 days. And I will say, I'll caveat little asterisk, I was home for 36 hours at day 37 to get my roots and my nails done. Then I took back off again. It's the essentials. You gotta know yourself, ladies. Um, And and we did about 9,000 miles on the road. So we drove from Las Vegas through upstate New York into Boston, all the way down to Miami, across the South, back to Vegas, and then all the way into Huntington Beach through Palm Springs and back home. And that was in 45 days. We're home for a bit. And then I am going to be gone in Europe for a month. And I say Europe because, like, truly, like, Brad and I get to do Poland and Brussels, and then we'll do. I think we're going to do France for about a few days, and then we end up in London. So obviously, work is why I'm doing that, but there's a little vacation in there as well. I'll be home for a few months, thankfully, because I have said no to a lot of those little weekend trips because they sound easy and they're not easy for me actually anymore. And then in August, we'll be gone for 3 weeks, home for September. October, we'll be gone for 3 weeks, home for November. And then I just said yes to a quick trip to India. Why not? And then another month-long tour. So to your question about has travel always been part of my life? It hasn't. I grew up actually poor, quite poor. I mean, I didn't think I was that poor growing up because there wasn't assistance and there was food on the table, but mac and cheese with hot dogs, that was a protein. So, like there was, my parents tried really hard, but it just it was not easy, child of the 80s in different places. So travel was always expensive. Like we camped. I did a lot of camping, on the beach. Very, very fun. But like, no, I mean, I think I went to Mexico in high school on a missions trip, like, and so and really it was like Tijuana, like you're just going over. So
Me
you didn't even need
too.
a passport.
That was my international experience at
Right.
the time.
Right. And you didn't even need a passport then. Like it was like, of course you went to
No.
Mexico. Like it's just,
Mhm.
and also because I went to this class where they spoke Spanish and English. Like it just was kind of the same. So at any rate, here's what happened. I had a client invite me to Chile on a retreat, to teach on a retreat. And I said yes. And I bought a plane ticket. And I was my first international, like true international experience. It was going to go on my own. And of course, that fell through. And I had this trip to Chile. And I switched the flight to Brazil. I was supposed to go with my partner at the time, and he didn't buy a ticket. So now I have this ticket to Brazil. And so, but I was like, I'm a little stubborn. And I was like, well, I'm going to go. I'm not throwing this money away. So I booked this 2-week trip in Rio alone. I don't really recommend doing that, but at the same time, like I had the best time. So I learned Portuguese. I like got myself there, and I went on this trip, and I realized how, yes, the flight was not cheap for me and the hotel was not cheap for me, but once I was there, it wasn't very expensive to be there. It was kind of like the life I was living in LA. And so from that movement, from that day forward, I made it a point to like, how can I travel more?
Mm.
And left that partner, got known on YouTube. And so because of YouTube and Plies Anytime, like I was asked to go to a lot of places, and I would say yes to anything. You want me to come to London? There was a time, Jessica, I think you knew me. I like flew to London, flew home, flew to Spain a week later, flew home, like the things you can do in your 30s, in your late 20s that are a little easier. You could just go back and forth. So travel became something I really loved. And my husband jumped on board with me because he told this wonderful coach of ours, I just want to travel and work from wherever I am. And he's like, well, your wife does that. So why don't you join forces with her? And so when he joined forces and it became really, truly part of our business model to travel as part of it, it's just that where we're at now, it's just like putting them in chunks is a little easier because then I can have, to our point of routines, I can have a travel routine and then I can be at home. And I think that really helps me, one, be grounded and have connections and be in
Yeah.
my own community. And then the other is like, when I'm on the road, it's a little easier to just like keep going. It's like a different engine.
Yeah. And for those of you listening, like Leslie's travel doesn't like that 45-day trip. We're not talking just staying in a hotel for a week at a time in another hotel. They're living out of their amazing van with the dogs with them majority of the time, sometimes camping, or someone's house here and there. So very much not a like land of easy routine. I mean, I
No.
have been a part of this and seen it come to our house and we'll look at maps and say, can we camp here? Can we do this next? It is so impressive. And so with that idea of travel routines, are there some things that you have found that are really important for you to keep and then others that you not keep when you travel? Or do you try to keep all your routines the same? What's that difference? How do
Yeah.
you
Oh
make
my
that happen?
gosh. I couldn't keep them all if I wanted to. Like there's it's the way, so yes, so here's the thing, like we live in the States, there's a gym on every corner. It's so easy for me to lift weights, and I could do Pilates kind of anywhere, right? Like on the mat, whatever. We bring a reformer if I have a place to. I don't pull it out outside. I have done that in Idaho, but like typically I don't pull that out outside in a parking lot, but I can do the mat at a gym and I can get around. Um, but like we were in Scotland, and the UK, and England for a few weeks, and I actually had a really hard time keeping up with my weightlifting routine. Finding a gym that would let me pay for a day pass is like a very odd request apparently. And hotels there don't like have fitness centers like ours. It's
Okay.
kind of a standard for here. So, what I'll say is like when we're doing van life and we're on tour, it is easier for me to keep the workout routines and the dog walking. That is a little easier to do. My red light therapy is so easy because I have a van. I can pack all of it.
Yeah.
Um, Hydration is really easy. Protein also, because it's a craze right now, is really easy. But like my nighttime routines that I do with like a hot tea or I obviously don't have my shake plate or my sauna. Like I don't have the things that I also do as part of my routines that like keep me calm. I have to change what those are and I have to create a new routine for on the road.
Okay.
On when we fly, I'm obviously I'm not bringing my red lights. They take up a lot more space than you think, and so I have to kind of be intentional about like, okay, if I'm going to a place where it isn't going to be sunny for several weeks and I know that I need that, where can I find? Is there a sauna place? Is there something? So this is again goes back to like what you know about yourself that you need and making sure it's there. And we try really hard if we can't find a hotel with a fitness center in it, that there is a gym that we've researched ahead of time. Like I don't leave anything to chance. I don't go, oh, I'll figure out when I get there. When it comes to my routines, I actually do plan that part. And then I let spontaneity happen when I'm
Yes.
there, when it comes to like what I'm gonna see, or sometimes even what I'm gonna eat. But what I have figured out is like what are the essential things I have to move? Like movement is absolutely key. If I do not move, if I do not go for a nice long walk, if I do not get outside, I am really a hard person to be around, even for myself. I don't want to be around myself. And then I do need to have like I have a night mask that I have to have when I travel. So there's like certain little like just like when you're a kid and you had to take your blankie somewhere, there are certain things as an adult that I really do. And my skincare routine that absolutely comes through. And then you just have to let it go. Um, because I've studied how habits are truly created, I know some people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna get out of the routine." You mentioned it, like, it's not like a quick trip somewhere you can get back into it. Actually, routines are easy to pick back up or habits are really easy to pick back up if you like them. If you're kind to yourself about them, if you make them small enough to
Yeah.
do, like it'd be silly to not do. Where we get messed up is we're like perfectionists and we have to do it this much. We have to do it this way. And, I have to be like kind to myself, like, hey, I needed more sleep last night on this trip. And so all I can do is go for a long walk to get coffee. I'm not going to be able to get to the gym and lift some weights and figure it another time. And so I think a lot of grace for yourself is really key, but hopefully that gives you guys some ideas of like how you can kind of what routines are really essential to take with you.
Yep. And I think too, like what I hear you, especially when you were talking about eating, like you're not super precious about it, right? I mean, you're not taking exact meals and macros that you need on the plane. You don't have all of that expecting, big meals. You're like, how do I grab the protein I know I need? How do I grab the hydration that I know I need? And I feel like sometimes that will hang us up is that idea of, like you said, perfectionism and feeling like, oh, it has to keep looking the same as it does at home, or I have to be really, really specific about it versus if your habit is simply to have protein, that's your
Yeah.
habit, right? Like that's how you keep it going. You grab whatever protein source you have available to you, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, and also, here's the thing. Like, I don't love a lot of extra trash, but like you can get almost anything in a travel packet now. And
Yeah.
so I can get my creatine in a travel packet. I can get my fiber in a travel packet. I can get my collagen in a travel. Like there's so many things. And so I just buy boxes of them for my next trip. And then half my suitcase is these travel packets because I know I will feel better if I have my double dose of creatine. I know like my digestive system does not like to fly. So I have to have that fiber so I can stay moving and grooving. Like, so I know these things. So yeah, they cost extra and that sucks. But you know what? Like also if it means enjoying myself wherever I'm going to go and also being able to be a little bit on the easy side when it comes to what I'm eating, you have a lot more fun. I've been someone where I was on an elimination diet while traveling. It's not fun to be you, nor for you, not just for the other people. I don't even, I'm a recovering people pleaser. So like, it's really, but it wasn't fun to be me. Like, oh, I can't have that and I can't have that. It's like, what are the things I truly cannot have? Like, I know I can't, have to avoid so that I can enjoy myself. And then how can I like be in the culture and experience these different things? Maybe come back with some new ideas about what I want to add into my meals when I get home, So, and that's hard. And if you are in a place where you're feeling like you have to be really precious, that makes you feel really safe. I, I understand that. And I would encourage like some help there because it actually does keep you from experiencing all that life has to offer, whether you're at home or out there in the world.
Yeah. And I think too, at least I found for myself, is it's when I'm home in kind of that safe environment, right? What my body and nervous system feel as safe. That's where I can do all the experimentation and figure out what workouts do work the best for me, what food does work the best, what supplements do work the best. Then when I travel, like you said, I just will take the essentials with me, but I don't change it up. Like when I'm traveling, that is not the time I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to up my weights. I'm going,
Yeah, no.
like I'm going to do the hardest workout I've ever done. I'm going to really stay on point with protein. Like travel is exactly what you said. I'm going to keep the essentials so that I feel my best because then that allows me to get the most out of the trip, whether it's a work trip or I'm seeing something new that I want to enjoy or I'm going on a trip that actually feels emotionally really hard. I need to be a
Mm,
caretaker. I'm moving my parents. I am, trying to repair a relationship. Those times too, you need to bolster yourself with the routines that feel the best to you and not
yeah.
be beating yourself up over just trying to maintain your health or your weight or the scale or like that's not what it's about.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, so on the last tour, like I have a trainer for weightlifting because like I can be an expert in a lot of things, and I'm also not an expert in a lot of things. And I was just like, I want someone to create my training workouts for me.
Mhm.
And so I told her, like, I'm on tour. Here's the gym that I'll be at most of the time because like it's a chain. And so the goal is just to not lose the strength that I have. Right. Like the goal is to just like maintain.
Yeah.
And, so I knew that going into the trip and I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna up this weight. No, because I actually don't know what tomorrow has in store. I don't know what the weather, like when it is for weather, like I'm not here to be sore tomorrow. I just want to maintain. And I came back from that trip and she and I are working together to like figure out my new 3 rep maxes. And you guys, I'm actually lifting heavier in
Mm.
all of the lifts because I actually just your body needs to have some maintenance time. It needs to have these things. We're not always, like kind of asked like what health is earlier. I can't always be trying to lift more every single time I go to the gym. No, I'm actually just trying to be the strongest version of myself every single day. Like that's the goal. So I think I love what you said there. Like at home, when you're in your comfort, go try new things, figure out when I do not try a new fun, fanatical workout when I'm on the road. No, I want the thing that I know is going to make me feel good because there's so many other things that are out of my control.
Yes.
That yeah, I can't figure out what the noise is going to be when I'm sleeping at night, so I have to there's enough uncertainty to enjoy.
I am committed to taking care of my skin while also needing to always be aware of what products I use. I have found my skin to be increasingly dry and sensitive as I get older, which means I want both products that feel good and that work on my needs, such as sunspots, fine lines, and those fun wrinkles that keep showing up. One Skin fits the bill and more. It feels great, is somehow light and nourishing all at once, and definitely has the science to help with my desire to look my best as I age. Born from over a decade of longevity research, One Skin's OS1 peptide is proven to target the visible signs of aging, helping you unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age. For a limited time, try OneSkin with 15% off using code MEETYOURBODY at oneskin.co/meetyourbody. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code MEETYOURBODY. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you.
REI has ultralight backpacking gear. So for you gram counters and ounce shavers, we made this ad ultralight with a base weight of just 13 seconds. The next 17 seconds, pure trail. Find more with less in-store and at rei.com.
I never thought that I would be here talking to you about underwear and bras, but here we are. They are actually so important in our day-to-day lives. We wear them just about every day, and it seems like we typically put up with really uncomfortable undergarments, and I think life is too short to do that. So when Skims reached out to me months ago asking me to try their products, to be honest, I didn't have very high expectations because I've never been able to find something that I really truly love. Skims has blown me out of the water. I find myself reaching for their Everybody thong just about every day. I am doing laundry extra times a week so that I can actually have them available for my workouts. They're so soft. It feels like I'm not wearing anything whatsoever, and I can even sweat in them, and it's completely comfortable. And their bras have been so surprising to me. As someone who's had a double mastectomy, bras can be really uncomfortable for me, and they are so soft. They're supportive. They are gentle. And they have specific products for mastectomy, which is really awesome. So I highly recommend you check out Skims. You can shop Skims Fits Everybody collection at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. Now back to our show.
And do you find when you get back, is it really easy for you to jump back into the routines? Do you have like a little runway that you come in with? So just for people listening when they're thinking, okay, that all sounds great, but oh my gosh, when I get back, what do I do at that point? How does that kind of work for you?
Yeah, I have a dog, so he's gonna go on a morning walk. So I feel like if you don't have kids or a dog that, like, kind of make routines happen, you might need a runway or you might need a reminder of what it is. My dog is it's crazy. We could be on the road for 45 days and it's 5:30. He's like, "Hello, I'm ready for that walk." And it's like, "Oh, you remember and you're on the time zone already. Okay, cool." So I will say, where I have ease and a runway is getting back into any kind of journaling that I'm doing at the time, and I do change it up between morning pages or, honestly pulling a tarot card and journaling about that. I kind of depends on where my mood is at the time. So I kind of give myself grace there, but I get into my movement, my sauna blanket practice, all that stuff pretty much from the get-go based on my schedule if it allows, and here's the thing, it's because I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I think I think some people are forcing themselves to things that they don't like. I actually like my cold plunge. It's not the most freezing. It's at 50 degrees, real nice for women. I like it. And so, I'm not forcing myself to do anything. I'm not eating my veggies at 6 a.m. So I think that there's so many things out there. It's so hard to be a woman today. I'm sure, Jessica, you and I'm sure the ads you get are probably it is. If I happen to research one thing, all of a sudden I'm getting 17 ads and I'm like, well, I actually just didn't want that in the first place. And now so it's so overwhelming. All the things we have to do. There's all this fear. I don't want to have dementia. I don't want to,
Yeah.
I don't want to have hot flashes. I don't want, so there's all this stuff. And so it's easy to get overwhelmed. I have to do these things. Actually, you really got to do the things you like. If
Yeah.
you like them, it's going to help you feel good. And then you can test out other things you might not like, but need to do.
Yeah. And because knowing you, I know community is really important to you. I also think that you are like me in that we have introverted tendencies, which is interesting because we both teach on stages, hundreds of people, and I know that's what feeds us. I love that more than anything. Get it. If you told me right this moment, you're going on stage in 5 minutes to teach a Pilates class to 200 people, I'd be like, yes, I have my playlist ready. Actually,
Yeah.
like, let's go. It is my joy. And also, I absolutely have to protect my energy and find that recharge, kind of like what we said, even about recharging our bodies. I know I have to
Mhm.
recharge my energy, and I think you're the same with that. So, how does that, especially with travel, and since you travel for work, you're seeing so many people. I mean, you're constantly getting that energy up. Do you have ways you kind of protect your energy also as a part of the health piece?
Yeah. Okay. So, first of all, like the World Health Organization says that loneliness is one of the biggest, is one of the biggest obstacles to having healthy wellness and mental health care. Like, you have to be in community, and you can still be an introvert and still want community and still need to be part of it. And there's different ways of doing that. So, I know this is like to also be honest. Like, this is where I was like, I have ADHD because like I'm quite the introvert who can be around a lot of people. I don't understand that. So anyways, this a little note into my internal dialogue. So I I remember what it was like to just feel like you're an outsider looking in all of the time. I really truly feel like how growing up, I kind of just felt like I really didn't belong in the community that I was in, and I was really seeking it out. And in teaching Pilates and having like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. mat class where like honestly, out of 30 people, 28 people are the same people, and the other two just kind of switched out depending on the day. But like they were the same people, and seeing these people who never hung out outside of that mat class but talk about their grandkids, talk about a wedding they're going to, talk about the trip that they're doing, and be in that community and seeing what that did. I knew from that how that made me feel, seeing that the space that I had curated was giving them something more than the Pilates was, that I had to do that in everything. And
Mhm.
so, and also I have to have time by myself. And so I will say, like, it is not easy, especially like I don't know how people with children do it because I just have a husband and he likes to be up at night and I like to be up in the morning. So we each have time alone,
Yeah.
a significant portion of our day. But I think like my routines are pretty much by myself,
Yeah.
so that I can recharge.
Mhm.
It can't be that your sleep is the only time that you're by yourself. Like my morning walk, I have a neighbor, bless her, she's like, "Oh, I'll do your morning walk with you." And I'm like, "No." Like you can come over at 5:30 PM. You can you can I'll say hi to you. I'm happy to stop, let the dogs sniff at each
Yeah.
other, but we have to go our separate ways. I need that to be my time. I need my thoughts to come to me.
Yeah.
I really, really, truly do that. My Pilates practice, I do most of it by myself, not because I don't want to be taught, but because it's a really easy time to be alone. When I'm on
Mhm.
tour, we saw 800 people in 45 days, not to mention like all the family and all the other people, just the people that were in classes. And people are like, you must be so tired. I'm like, I'm not tired because guess what I did before this? I worked out by myself. I had a good night's sleep. So I
Yeah.
think, it's really important. You got to know what you need to recharge. And for my husband, it's being around people. So it is not abnormal for him on a Monday night to go to the bar and work so he can be
Yeah.
around people because that's what he needs to start his week off right. You got to know what you need to recharge. And then how you are in community, you get to pick the hat you are. Are you the wallflower who shows up and like is and that's great. That we need the wallflowers because they are part of it and they're observing and they're taking in. Are you the person who's in the front of the room and is wanting to be the demonstrator of things? Are you the person who remembers people's birthdays? Like every part of that matters. And I think where we make mistakes in community is that we think we have to be someone else
Yeah.
to be part of community. Like we have to be the one organizing it. No, if you're not an organizer, don't, but be the person who says yes, and like shows up when you say yes. Like I think it's so important. And so like, you and I both have these amazing platforms that are online and always strive every travel thing I do. I'm like, how can I bring my community in that area together so that
Yeah.
I can leave them, having connected from online to offline. And then that's
Yeah.
just, I think it's going to be better for their mental health, but also just like everybody wants to feel like they belong. Like that's just what it all is. And when I look at people online and how hard things are, it's like you can see that's just a lonely person who's just trying to find their people.
Yeah. And you're exactly right. You can be who you are within a community. And so, yeah, if you're someone listening, coming to one of our online platforms or coming to one of our in person events, we don't want you to come as anyone other than who you are. Like, we definitely, I mean, I can say I do not want you to show up as me. I mean, I don't need more me's. Like, I need you. We need to learn from you and who you are and the energy you bring and the thoughts that you have. Um, and when you said just saying yes, I have to tell everyone how you and I first met because it's like a story of community to me, even though it's just two people. So I had seen Lesley online. I mean, in the Pilates world, you could not see Lesley. So I had to, in my peripheral vision in the world back then, there wasn't even social media yet. I don't think. I mean, we were around the
Not in the
time.
way that we use it now.
Right.
Not for sure. Yeah.
And I always thought, oh gosh, I want to know this girl. I want to know more about her and I want to meet her. And so we were at a conference, right? It was PMA at a Pilates conference. And somehow I had your number because I think we were a part of a board or a panel together. And so I just remember saying, I'm just going to text her. I'm just going to text or reach out and say, hey, I'm going to be downstairs at the bar at this time before the event. If you want to meet. And you're like, yes. I'm like, oh my gosh. She said, yeah, like it was a yes. And then, yeah, we just literally walked up to each other at the bar. I'm like, I know who you are. She's like, I know who you are. And that was it. And we had things to talk about. And I think about that so much because you are such a great yes person. Like you just don't question it. And at the same time, you do have very clear ideas of what you need to be healthy. And I think, I mean, hearing you talk today, like you've set that up and been so intentional about it that it allows you to say yes without depleting you in any way.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, you can say yes to something and then you can realize pretty quickly either, oh, this is going to be a friendship that lasts, or you know what, maybe it's not. Maybe we actually don't have a lot in common, but it was great to meet. I said yes, I opened myself up, and now I can move on from that. I mean,
I
community can
love
look
that.
so different.
Jessica, I love that so much because I do think that people put a lot of pressure on like us, the sunk costs. Like, oh, I, I said yes to this book club, and now I'm in it, and I don't like any of the people.
Yeah.
No, they don't want you there if you're not going to.
Yeah.
I'm binging Secret Lives of Mormon Wives right now, and I'm like, these girls don't really like each other. And they're forcing themselves to be in this community. And like this is really sad because unfortunately, I think a lot of specifically women think, well, I said yes, so I have to move forward. You can discover that it's not the right fit or you're not the right fit. And it doesn't have to be nasty. It doesn't have to be negative. It could just be like, this is not it. And, I'm not a big a person on ghosting unless it's the appropriate thing to do. Just be like, hey, you know what? My schedule's not working out right now. Or, hey, I love the direction you're going into. It's just not right for me. You can, whatever feels authentic to you in the exit is the right thing to do. And then you try something else. And, it is hard as an adult to find community. We moved to Vegas during a pandemic. Like so it was really hard to like make adult friends. We don't have kids. So like how do you make friends as an adult? You're just like, I just kept going to the same small businesses and and like asking them, who's your hairdresser? Who is this person? And now like I just had a birthday. The people that could come, I was just like, holy moly. Like look at these people that like during a football championship stopped everything to put on a costume for me and showed up because I did ask, I did have a theme because why not? And I can go, oh, I have created community. It also just takes time. I think there's this interesting thing. Like I have friends who are single and they go on one date. They're like, oh, it's not going to work out. And I'm like, I'm not saying date the wrong person 3 more times, but also like, how do you know? Like I think that it has to be a switch. It's on or it's off. And it's like, well, or, today was a sunny day and it was the right day for that. And maybe but on a cloudy day and you should just give it another try, especially if you're intrigued, especially if it was aligned in the interest that you said you wanted. And then, be involved in the way that you want to. But you can't, if you don't have community, it is lonely out there and it is going to affect your mental health and it is going to affect your well-being. And people do not have a thriving life. I mean, we know this from science. Like there's a baby who literally died because no one touched them. Like we have to be in community. So we have to figure out what communities we want to be part of and how we want to be a part of them and how often we want to engage with that. And that's only something you can figure out on your own by trying.
Yeah. And it feels like these two things that could feel like separate subjects. Oh, okay, we're talking about travel and health, and then now we're talking about community. But I feel like there's such a common theme in that we are saying Find out what you need as an individual. Find out how to support your nervous system, nourish yourself. Find out how to do all of that and put high value on it and commit to it. Then open yourself up to, yeah, whether it be travel, whether it be reaching out in community, whether whatever it happens to be, I think feels safer or less
Mhm.
intimidating when you have that self awareness and self investment.
Oh my god, I couldn't agree more. Also, like, there are retreats out there that are based on a theme.
Yeah.
That and then you're in this community for a short period of time with a bunch of strangers, but you guys are all together. I've seen it. I've created them. Like, our
Yeah.
retreats are usually a bunch of random people who don't know each other that, feel safe coming to my retreat and then become this family, and then they're a community that I still see them chatting with each other on WhatsApp years later. Like, so I think that there is a Venn diagram that's bigger between the community and the travel. And
Mhm.
really, it comes down to knowing you got to know yourself, and then you got to put yourself into those positions to learn more about yourself. We just did our ninth tour. And we were talking with our headlining sponsor about like what went well. And like basically this tour was our best tour. Why? Because our ninth one. So I know what I can do on a tour and what I can't do on a tour. And I will say, I actually don't have phone calls with my best friends in life on tour. We
Yeah.
text each other, we voice message each other, but I'm in a different time zone. It's too like there I can't be sure what could happen before how late is this event going to go. And so I just will say like you're gonna learn by making mistakes
Mhm.
on trips or trying new things. And guess what? It doesn't mean it was bad. It means you're like, oh wow, I now know I have to have coffee before I leave my hotel room. Like you learn and that is just like part of it. And that actually it makes it more fun. You can go, whoa, look what I learned about myself today. I don't do well on a 10-hour trip. You just learn about yourself.
Yep, absolutely. So speaking of retreats, tell us more about your retreats, and then I want you to tell everybody how they can find you everywhere. But since you mentioned retreats, you definitely have to bring those up too.
Yeah, every October we have a retreat. It's Pilates with breath work, and we do some visualization work as well, habits coaching, things like that, in Cambodia. And I know that sounds like a weird place to go, and people often worry about the safety. You're at my house, and we're in a cute little village, and it's a very tourist town, so it's very quite safe. Everyone wants you to be safe. So, but that I only offer it once a year right now because the weather there is it's like Orlando, and sometimes it's drier and hotter. So
Yeah.
we're limited to the window of time we can go. Typically, the best weather is like November to February, and we go in October before the crazy chaos of tourism happens. So the weather is still nice, but it's just past the rainy season. Everything's green. It's beautiful. So you can go to crowsnestretreats.com or just DM me on Instagram to find out more. This year's retreat only has like 1 or 2 spots left, but we do it every October, so we can get you dates for 2027 and beyond. And then you can find me if you are doing YouTube with Jessica. I'm on YouTube, and I go live on Sundays at 9 a.m. Answering Pilates questions. I really love it. If you want to be part of community, there's a bunch of people who show up every Sunday at 9 a.m. to just watch me talk to myself. But you can ask questions and
Right.
chat there. And that's YouTube channel's online Pilates classes. And then Instagram, it's me. It's just my name. If you like the sound of this voice and you like listening to podcasts, Jessica's been on my podcast. And I'm really proud to say, after 600 and something episodes, we're in the top 1% of podcasts. And it's all about, it's kind of like this. It's all about being it till we see it. It's like, how do we imperfectly get to becoming the person we want to be closer every single day?
Yep. And you have great guests too. I mean, really
Oh my
great guest conversations.
I'm so shocked by the guests that I get to have. I mean, just like it's like a fun thing that I get to do. And
Yeah.
we don't talk a lot about Pilates. It's kind of like this. Like
Yeah.
it comes up, but it's hard to talk about Pilates on a podcast at week in and out. You kind of have to talk like it's just part of being a human.
Yeah. And I will say also for anyone listening who really, because I get questions still about classical Pilates, and we won't get into all the differences here, but if you're listening and you know you love classical, Lesley is your person. She is my teacher, mentor for classical style
Mm.
Pilates. So go there as well. And some of my very favorite humans are also teachers for you on your platform as well.
Oh, yeah. At OPC, we do have all of our teachers are over 40. We have all sizes from like 4'11" to 6'1".
Yes.
I'm really proud of it, and I will say it's kind of funny how we like are just like tennis tennis partners. You are my go-to when it comes to like injuries and breaking things down and all this stuff. And so I'm often asked to like quote like what YouTube channel is the best for pelvic floor, and I'm like Jessica. I've been quoted talking about your YouTube channel, I think more than my own, and I love that because it's for me, and I think for you as well. It's like the more bodies doing Pilates, the better. I am an expert in classical Pilates. I happen to love it because it has certainty to it and it works for my body. I'm also not a purist in that I'll eliminate exercise that aren't right for me. So I think which by the way, would be what Joe did. But I think I like being that expert for people who can add it in or are curious. And I like having people like you who are such experts in what you do because if I get someone with a hip thing, it's like, you go there first, come back when you're ready.
And that's community too, right? Is just opening up the table with more chairs, a bigger table. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're just bringing and curating the people who are really good at what they do and who are willing to listen to other voices and spread the community to others then. I mean, that's what it's about.
Jessica, I love that you said that because I recently was asked on a panel, with amazing people, and their answers were fine. Their answers were great, but I was asked the question first, which is like, what does inclusivity mean to me? And I said, it's an interesting question. There's a lot of nuances, but to me, like inclusivity means knowing who I am the best served for, and knowing who is best to serve the people that I'm not right now. And then sharing that information. Like I had someone come with water on their brain who wanted a session from me. Oh my God. Like I'm not, can I look it up? Yes. But guess what? There was like an actual neurological trained Pilates instructor in the studio I'm at. She should teach them. Right. And so I think it's really important that part of community, part of making the table bigger is like really understanding who has the expertise in the things that you don't and just giving those people who need it that person. And that takes the pressure off of all of us. I don't have to be everything to everybody. Like that is where I think as women, we actually get far away from health and we get far away from community and we get far away from being able to see the world because we become overwhelmed.
Yes, overwhelmed, being everything to everyone, and like you said, people pleasing. As a recovering people pleaser, I will agree. It can feel so against what we have been taught to make that self-investment that we've talked about, to have that self-awareness. But I truly believe it's the only way then you can go out and serve other people is if you have that. Like if you have that security in your own needs, then it opens up the space in your brain, in your heart, and your body to serve other people. And it's the only way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for being you. Well, we'll have to do this again on another topic, but I really think that I'm really proud of the people that we are and how we've helped each other out because I do think it does help so many people we'll never know, and that to me is also the coolest gift that we get to give and have in this world. So, thanks.
Agreed. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening today. I would love it if you could take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. It means a lot to us and it helps our content get out to more women who need it. You can find more of my resources at my website, jessicavalant.com, or find me on YouTube at Jessica Valant and Instagram at Jessica S. Valant.